Hello out there in YouTube land, this is the Alco Diesel guy. Today's project is concerning a common problem with a lot of the Athearn engines, the Proto 2000 engines, Proto 1000, your old Stewart engines, Blue Box Athearns, I should say, as well, ready to run Athearns, etc. They all have this basic truck. It's basically dates back to then. There are a few variations, but today's project is going to deal with how you disassemble one of these and work with it. A common complaint with these is that they break their gears, and particularly the Proto 1000s and 2000 models. The latter 1000s weren't much of a problem, but the 2000s were very infamous for this. Even into the era where Walters took over, there were still problems with these. Anyway, let's get started. The first thing is we have to identify the different parts of this truck. Top over here, there are a few different parts we have to concern ourselves with. Let me adjust my camera a little bit so I can show you better. The top over here, we have this top clip, as it's called. What this does is it secures the locomotive together. It holds the truck together, I should say. It secures this thing and holds the top part of the truck together. And then we have the bottom clip, which is actually how you get access to your wheels. Get this thing to focus again. Anyway, what we're going to do first is remove the bottom clip. And I've already taken one side up. All I did is take my fingernail and gently pry it up. I already did the one side before. When I hang on to these, don't lose them whatever you do, because these are definitely hard to come by these days. I've got a parts bin. Because this is a Proto 2000 FB unit, I'm going to basically take all these parts off this and basically clean them. So I'm going to reassemble them for the sake of this procedure, but I'm just going to make recommendations as to how you would handle it. Anyway, let me continue now. I've now taken the base plate off. I'm going to now remove the wheels, which I happen to know they're broken. I could tell when I tested it, not even running, just manually spinning the wheels over, they were slipping. And now if we look at this wheel carefully, kind of hard to see, but you can see there's just a little teeny tiny crack in there. Let's see if I can get you a little bit further to get my camera to zoom. There's a tiny little crack on the side right over here, and that's basically indicating that this is stripped, that I should say the plastic is broken, which is common. It's not clear as to what causes this to happen. It's either the plastic compounds not being strong enough, being used with cheap chemicals or insufficient chemicals, not enough of the resin stabilizing resin, or basically the axles being too big. Whatever the case, this happens, and this one has it. Another symptom of this is that I can turn this wheel, and the rest of the, and as you see, the gear doesn't turn. So this wheel set is junk, basically. These are brass wheels, so there really isn't much value in getting them going again. I think these are brass. No, they're actually metal. Some of these are metal, some of them are brass, and this one again, same problem. It's cracked, and I can again turn the wheel by itself. If you get either one of these symptoms, the wheel set is busted. You're going to have to rebuild it. You can get an NMRA. You can get an NMRA standards gauge and buy the gears off the shelf from Athearn, or you can just buy the wheel sets. I just buy the wheel sets because I find they tend to work better. Either way, you're going to have to change the gear ratio, so there's really no purpose in, sort of no advantage in doing that. Let me get this thing to focus again. Back off a little bit. There we go. Now, of course, we're left with what's left of the truck. We're going to now go further into this. We're going to take the top clip off. A lot of people try to force this out. Don't do that. You'll break this top clip and you'll never get the truck back together. I just took my fingernail and popped it off. That's the top clip right there. And now you can just basically pull the whole truck assembly apart. And here it is. It's pretty simple. The gear arrangement is the smaller gear is always in the middle on all of these, the different ones. They're slightly different sizes, but the middle is always the smallest gear you have, and the two bigger ones go on the outside. I'm just going to pull them off now. And surprisingly, these aren't too bad. But it does have some of that nasty grease on it, so I'm going to have to clean these off anyway. So I'm going to put these in there. So I'm just going to take them off and show you. And basically to put them back on is pretty simple. Take the middle gear, place it right back in place. Then put the other two gears on the other side. Grab your other side of the truck assembly, and you just clip it back together. Line it up, make sure everything goes together right. You'll know because there's a lock right here where you'll know because these shells have to be perfectly aligned. And then you can get your top clip on again. There we go. See, now it's a little tricky to get in there, but once you have it and you're all set, and then you just simply take this clip and press it into place. And that's essentially how you disassemble it. It's very simplistic, very easy to work with. As for this truck, I'm going to do a complete lubrication job on it. I'm going to basically go in here with a toothbrush and some soap water and actually literally clean this thing out and get all the grease I can out of it. I'm going to also thoroughly clean the gears. They're going to a little box next to me, and they'll be thoroughly cleaned and scrubbed of this old grease. Then I'm going to redo this with the proper lubricants, much more reliable lubricants, and I'll be all set to put it back together. But anyway, in short, that's how you handle one of these things. Thanks for watching.